Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you today.
Hi, Sarah.
Maybe you could just kick off with a brief introduction to this incredible new series, The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. Tell us a bit about what audiences can expect and a bit about each of your characters, Jessica and Annalise.
So, let me do that. I would say as a show, it is a exciting, crazy tumble down the rabbit hole of a fantasy show with some incredible. Our scripts from Joe Barton are so witty and funny. I think it's gritty. I think it doesn't take itself too seriously. I think viewers can expect a kind of exciting and very kind of like British show.
Yeah, I think it's like wonderful and gritty and dark and humorous and like all of those things just kind of pour into this one world. And I play a character called Annalise, who is the daughter of the Fairborn Hunter Squad leader, and she kind of goes on a real journey about who she is and what she's been brought up believing, and she kind of throws it all away at one point in order to kind of follow this person that she thinks she loves, and then in turn realises so much more about the world and people within it. And you play Jessica.
I play dun dun dun.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, evil music. I play Jessica, who is Nathan's half sister, and she is very much a proud Fairborn witch. She has a huge amount of resentment towards Nathan. And as the series develops, she kind of goes on a journey with the hunters that takes her on a big journey of kind of, trying to track down these lot and not be very nice in the process.
Watch out, Jessica's on the way.
And of course, it's based on the novels by Sally Green, and I heard Joe Barton sort of refer to it as a kind of a spiritual adaptation. And it does feel it's got that great balance of having the fantasy elements, but it feels very rooted in an everyday reality as well. So did you go back to the books to inform your performances? And what was the appeal of being involved with the project?
I mean, the appeal was the first time I ever read the scripts, I couldn't put them down, and it was I'm quite a slow reader, and the first time I ever read them, I think that's the quickest I've ever read anything in my life. And Joe Barton's writing is just like amazing. I mean, it's an actor's dream to be able to embody some of his characters and use his dialogue, because he just writes the whole world so well. I didn't read the books before I approached the character because Joe really used the books as a kind of springboard into the world, and I didn't want to kind of take in information that maybe led me astray or led me down a wrong path. So I read the first book after we wrapped on the show, and I really enjoyed reading it and kind of comparing the differences and the similarities.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, same with reading the scripts, my gosh, like, I just wanted to read more. Like, when I was auditioning for it, like, by the time you get to episode 3, I was like, I need to know what happens, because it's such a journey of a series. And I did read the first book before I started, because for me it was a bit different. Like, the character of Jessica in the first book is you don't kind of follow her journey into the hunters. So I was able to just kind of get a sense of the world and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of Joe's script that really like fleshes out that character.
And in terms of, being on the shoot, I mean, it is gritty and there is violence. And, what were some of maybe the most challenging moments, but also the highlights?
I think some of the most challenging moments for me were being drenched in blood, which is actually just a sugar syrup. So I was kind of sticky for 12-hour days sometimes. And I think, taking on the balance of kind of humour and lightness with all the darkness of the show was a real challenge for all of us, but like an amazing challenge. I
think for me, like, so much of what Jessica does is Yeah, very dark and very violent. And I think I learned a lot about how squeamish I can be. There's definitely, like, there was moments where, there's an incredible moment in the second episode where there's like this avalanche of gore when the hunters go looking in a Welsh town, and they're kind of going through this creepy horror house which they'd created, like they built in a studio, so it was all so real. And I can't tell you how good, like, the prosthetics team are. Like, nothing could have prepared me for, I didn't think it was going to be anywhere near as realistic as it was. And this just avalanche of, like, body parts, and it was so ironic because I'm meant to be the only character that is totally unfazed by it. And I literally was like, I'm gonna be sick. I was like, oh no. Like, when I watched that scene, I have a line in it. I say, like, oh, it looks like we found the first team. And I'm literally going, looks like we found the first team.
Can we get Izzy back on set?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just retching in the corner.
So yeah, it was a lot.
Oh, I think I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing all that with me, and I can't wait for everyone else to get stuck into this incredible series. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.
Thanks, bye.